Hey everybody, this is Nolan from Asia Pacific Gardening.
Hey, this is Robert from Asia Pacific Gardening. We work together with this maple tree today, and we're going to show some interesting experience.
Let's take a look and see what we got. So, one challenge of this tree is that it's planted right at the step. Mind you, this tree was planted in the 50s or 60s. This tree is about 70, 75 years old. The owner of this house did not plant this tree. So when he purchased the home in the 80s, it was already here. And sometimes you gotta work with what you have, right? So in order to uproot this whole thing, you gotta break this whole staircase, and that's a huge project. So now we have to focus on how to make this tree better. It is grown on the walkway, so unfortunately we missed this half of the tree. But this is the job that we have to work with. Let's do some measurements to see how big this tree is first. About six and a half to 7 feet tall. Let's take a closer look at this. So here's a look at the inside of the tree, and it's never really been professionally pruned by us, or any type of professional pruning. They've cut this section here just to open up the walkway. So keep in mind, when you plant a maple, you gotta give a lot of space, right? Like the diameter of a tree at this age is probably 12 feet or so. So think about that when you plant a maple tree. Do you have the right amount of space, or are you gonna run into problems like this where you end up missing half of the tree? Like if this was a full-size tree, the potential of this would be amazing. But again, we got to work with what we have. So we're going to use our bonsai techniques and open up the tree. And the philosophy of niwaki tree pruning is that a bird should be able to fly through it and perch on any of these branches. And right now, when you look from the outside, like if I was a bird, chirp, 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 chirp. Nope, I don't know where to fly into. You should be able to fly straight in there and rest on the branch. And pruned properly, when you're done, your tree kind of becomes a safe haven for local birds, and then they'll fly and perch here. And I think that's pretty rewarding.
So when you're looking at from inside, and we always suggest looking at a tree from both sides, inside and outside, before you do any pruning. And this is one good branch go out like this, but the rest of them is empty. Look at this, at bottom of this is empty. This is all small branches right here. Nothing good structure like this. So kind of missing something. So if you like these branches right here, at this moment, we would like to study if we can bring this up like this.
Oh, look at that.
Let me bring down again. See here, it's really low, right? This is really low. Now hopefully we can bring it up like this.
How are you doing that?
Well, stay with us, and you can see if we want to keep this doing like this position, and there's a technique tell you how to do it, so we're going to do it later on.
So this is the back side of the tree. We were on the other side. Now we're gonna be pruning this. And as you can see, this is a very, very shaggy looking mop. It looks like a mushroom. And we don't want any mushrooms in our video. So we're gonna apply our bonsai techniques, thin this out. You will see the structure of it. And remember my point earlier, a bird should be able to fly through it and perch on the branch. Right now, this is a straight up wall. Like you're gonna disappear, birds will fly here and they'll turn away. When we make our maple videos, we often get comments of people criticizing us that we're chopping more than 30% of the tree, or that we're going to be killing it. You have to understand why that 30% rule is often taught. The 30% rule is a safe rule that can be applied to every single tree, but not every tree gets boxed in by that 30%. If you see some of our past maple videos, we remove 50, 60%. of the branches and leaves, and the tree grows back tremendously. You can literally chop a cherry blossom in half and it will grow back. So that 30% rule is taught as a safe number because it can be applied to everything. It does not always apply to the trees that we work on. And every single cut we use on this tree, we prune by hand. We selectively prune to control the plumbing system of the tree to create layers and pads of future ramifications. Remember, this is just the first pruning. Niwaki training takes 10, 15 years, maybe even 20 years to achieve its full potential. So stay tuned with us, hit subscribe. If we're around for 20, 25 years, you will continue to see updates of trees like this. So stay tuned. We're gonna put this on the time lapse and you'll see how we slowly open this up.
So we start working on this side of the tree, and there's a lot of detail we need to working with, but you don't want to wasting your time to working and then finally you want to cut off. So this two branch right here, okay, you can see without this, think about that, without this, not going to affect the beauty of the tree. And this is a long branch right here, is bring the branch really low. And if you're looking at the other side behind me, the camera, see that's higher. So we already opened up this side right here, but I always pay attention for the balance of the whole tree. So that side, we pretty much finished the position what we're going to cut it, and we want to keep it. And then from there, looking at this side right here, probably around this area. We didn't prune anything but this side yet.
Yeah, that's too low right here.
This is too low. This is too low. You can see here. If we remove this,
let me go to the front. What? Which one?
This one, if we remove it, then we're working pruning a little bit this and looking at again from the other side, balance for the other side. Same thing on this side here. Shake.
Those two thin branches, which ones are they?
Right here. So when we remove this, and when after we prune this, and this should be up a little bit like this.
Let's see. So now this line would match the other side.
The other side.
Because otherwise you get this lopsided look.
Looking this here without the pruning, see how heavy. And then we're going to remove this, and this one, hopefully this one can up a little bit because this is too heavy right now. You can see it's like a pig, like a chicken feather right here. See here, it's really heavy.
Well, let me put this on a tripod. We'll remove those and see what it looks like.
Yep.
So my dad Robert's gonna remove those two thin branches over here. And then that trunk over here, that will raise our line to match with the other side. There's one branch. So there's a second branch. Look how much higher that is. Let's open up this whole section. What's the next one?
The next one will be the big one. But we want to keep this on the last.
Okay, you don't want to prune that right now?
No.
Okay. Well, let's go back to a time lapse. So, if you're wondering what kind of tools we're using, we're here to talk about that. We've been using these set of tools for the past 15 years. And to bring you captivating tools, we've designed this captivating video to show you our sponsorship. If you visit pnetools.com/bonsai and use promo code bonsai at checkout, you can get 10% off select Barnell tools, even the ones that we're using here. The ones that we bring to every maple pruning job is the B814 cicaders. The sharp cicader blades at the end allows you to make precision cuts without pruning off the wrong branch. The other one we bring with us is the B777 ratchet pruner. This allows you to prune thicker branches without using a lot of power. Give your hands a break and pick up one of these. Remember, if you visit pnetools.com/bonsai and use promo code bonsai at checkout, you get 10% off select Barnell tools. Now, let's end this captivating video sponsorship and get back to some pruning. This is now a different day. We're gonna finish this backside of the tree. And even from just one day, you can start to see where the layers and the pads are gonna be forming. There's this hole here. We'll use some wiring rope technique to show you how we cover up. Basically, we're just gonna move some branches along like that to cover up the hole. But let me show you the inside of what this tree looks like and the problem that we're facing with this tree. So this is the inside top canopy here. The videos don't really show it justice, but it is very thick and super crisscross, and the really skinny branches that just kind of run out with no structure, and then you get a leaf at the end. So when pruning our method, we have to carefully select which branch we want to keep and prune off the rest that just don't really add to the character of it. Like, this is what's taking us so long with this tree. We could be working on one section for like half an hour and still feel like nothing got trimmed. So we're gonna be working on this part today and hopefully be able to finish.
As you mentioned, when the tree been long time not maintained, and they always grow some new growth, you can see how messy right here, crossing each other. That one you need to take a time to study to clean it up. You don't want to keep the long one all the way down right here. So I always cut back like a layer to shorten his part, the second and the third on the bottom. So that's why you can see right now I already opened up this section right here. Like this one here, see here, it's so long, we don't need it. You can cut in smaller size right here, and this one, then this one up. This one, you can see here's how long is this. The technique of the bonsai is we don't want to grow long, only one branches like this. So you want this one cut back right here, and you can see the second part we need to, the keep pruning and let the weight can lightweight and will be up like this. This is the information you need to study.
And oftentimes we get comments like, oh, you cut so much of the tree, it looks so terrible. This is the first cut. You have to remember to think years ahead and anticipate how the tree will grow back in. We prune to create layers and ramifications. It's never a one and done. All right, let's get to work.
So we're thinning out most of the tree on the other side and also the top. But you from your screen there, you can see this is the negative part of this tree. There's a big hole right here, and we need to just figure out how to do this. That's will be next. We're going to introduce you how to fix this problem. So in front of us here, this is the basic tool we're going to use for our fixing the problem right there. This is the bonsai wire. This aluminum is easy to working on it, and so we're going to tie up the tree to the position. But this bonsai wire, because this is so small, if you put in on the branch like this, down in the root, they maybe can cut into the branch. So you have to protect the branches where you're going to cut it. And you know what this is? Garden hose.
Oh, not a snake?
This is the garden hose. I always save some old garden hose, especially the brown color one, because the good thing when you use this here, they're not showing the bright white color branches on your branches right here. So, and looking at the one here, I already cut it off. Open up like this. This is with rubber, right? So you can cover up like this, and you start wiring. That would be protect your tree. If you cannot find the bonsai wire, you can go to the garden center to buy the rope like this. Also is also available to training the tree up and down, but it's hard to do the left and right. That's a little bit difficult, but still okay too. And this is, you can buy in the market. It's not that difficult, and this is really strong one. So this is another option. So this negative part of this tree right here, of course you can see the nice trunk, but think about that. If this one we can bring it up like this.
Oh, look at that.
So taking over this position right here, and this is not the heavy branch right here. So we're going to use the rope inside the bonsai wire to tie up this to the one of the power branches on the top right here. Keep this in the position like this.
All right, let's do it. So we're gonna move this branch up here, and my dad Robert's already got the rope anchored to the top. So let's see if this will hold.
Does your hand?
That looks better. There's still that little hole. Yeah, we can twist this up. This will be perfect.
Yeah, we can twist this up. Use the wire.
Yeah, we're gonna use bonsai wire to twist this up like that. Okay, so we've added the wire here, and now we're just gonna bend this into place. Let's take a look how that works.
Look at this. We cover up this part, and this one will be developed by themselves. This one will be developed by themselves. So at least we cover up this section right here. You need to cut back a little bit here, too long.
And then next step, we're gonna move that up, and then this gap we need to close.
This one is the big one.
Yeah. All right, let's do that. So now we're gonna move this one up. This is gonna be
A lot of power.
a lot of power to move this. So hopefully we can do this right.
Remember earlier we have the garden hose. This is for the protecting. Instead of a wire will be cut into the branch right here. Use the rubber to cover up. Of course, the color is a part of the option. If you have the brown color hose, that will be better. So this is how to get the power, because this is a bigger trunk, because we're going to leave it up the bottom branch up to right here probably. So that's why we have to use the bonsai wire instead the rope.
And now we're anchoring the bottom branch with the bonsai wire. And we're gonna twist the wires together and pull that up like so.
We try to raise this up, so we need to hopefully on this. Yeah, we understand.
And he's gonna use a stick to make it twisting a little bit easier. create a little leather. Let's see this. And then I see twists. That raises up. Wait, pause right there. I think that looks okay.
Hang on. No, yeah.
No, you can go more. Okay, let go. That's pretty good. Yeah, it's touching, and then as it grows in, it'll be...
Yeah, this will be through.
Yeah. This is the back side of the tree now that we're done with it. Remember what it looked like before? It was just a giant wall. Can't really see through it. A bird definitely could not fly through it. But right now, you can easily see the trunk of it. And before, like, you couldn't even tell a tree was there. Now you have this beautiful semi-cascade that's moving this way. And it doesn't look like part of the tree is missing anymore, too. And remember, this is just the first time we've ever pruned it. And we've already achieved all these layers. Imagine what it can look like in 10, 15, 20 years when these layers fully mature and we achieve the ramifications that we're looking for. Birds can now definitely fly through it and use this as a safe haven to rest. Let's take a look on the other side. And we're done. There's my guy. Remember what it looked like before? You couldn't even see us pop out. And now we're done with pruning here. If you like what you see, hit like, hit subscribe, turn the notifications on. Every single Friday, we have some bonsai related content that we'll put on our channel. We'll see you next week.